In the shadow of a raging conflict, a story of audacious strategy and devastating consequences has emerged. Recent reports are painting a dramatic picture of a major Ukrainian military operation targeting a critical piece of Russian infrastructure, the Belgorod Dam. According to these accounts, Ukrainian forces executed a daring strike, leading to the dam's destruction and unleashing a catastrophic flood that allegedly wiped out an entire Russian battalion. This isn't just another battlefield report. It's a potential game-changer, a move that demonstrates Ukraine's willingness to employ unconventional tactics to defend its sovereignty. Today, we're diving deep into what we know about this incredible event, analyzing the strategic implications, and exploring how this single act could reshape the entire conflict. Let's set the scene. The Belgorod region, situated in Russia just across the border from Kharkiv, has been a crucial staging ground for Russian forces since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. It serves as a major logistical hub, a launchpad for attacks, and a rear base for supplies and reinforcements. For months, Ukraine has been actively targeting military assets within this region, aiming to disrupt Russia's war machine at its source. But striking a dam is a significant escalation. It's a move that goes beyond targeting ammunition depots or troop concentrations. It's a direct blow to major civilian infrastructure, albeit one with immense military value. The target, the Belgorod Dam, is part of a reservoir system on the Seversky Donets River. This river is strategically vital, weaving its way through both Russian and Ukrainian territory, including the heavily contested Donbas region. Controlling the water levels of this river can have massive tactical advantages. By destroying the dam, Ukraine could have been aiming for several objectives at once. First and foremost, the immediate and catastrophic flooding. The sudden release of an enormous volume of water would have inundated the surrounding low-lying areas, precisely where Russian forces were reported to be positioned. According to preliminary reports trickling in from various sources, including Ukrainian military intelligence and unverified social media channels, a Russian battalion was caught completely off guard by the deluge. Imagine the scene: a massive wall of water, mud, and debris crashing through encampments in the middle of the night. There would have been no time to react, no escape. The sheer force of the water would have swept away not just personnel, but also heavy equipment, vehicles, and fortifications. We're talking about hundreds of soldiers and millions of dollars worth of military hardware, potentially neutralized in a matter of hours without a single shot fired in direct combat. If these reports are accurate, an entire battalion, a unit typically comprising 500 to 800 soldiers, was effectively drowned. This represents a staggering loss of life and a significant blow to Russian combat capability in the area. So, how could Ukraine have pulled this off? The specifics of the operation are still shrouded in secrecy, but several possibilities exist. One theory points to a long-range missile strike. Ukraine has been receiving increasingly sophisticated Western-supplied weapons, such as the Storm Shadow or Scalp cruise missiles, which have the range and precision to hit such a target deep within Russian territory. A well-placed strike on a structurally critical point of the dam could trigger a cascading failure. Another possibility is a covert operation by special forces. Ukrainian special operations units have gained a legendary reputation for their effectiveness behind enemy lines. A team could have infiltrated the area, planted explosives and detonated them remotely, ensuring maximum damage and surprise. A third, and perhaps more technologically advanced method, could involve the use of naval drones. While Belgorod is landlocked, it is possible that drones could have been deployed upriver to strike the dam's foundations from the water. Regardless of the method, the strategic thinking behind this attack is brilliant, if ruthless. It's a classic example of asymmetrical warfare, where a seemingly weaker force uses clever tactics to inflict disproportionate damage on a stronger adversary. By turning Russia's own geography against it, Ukraine not only eliminated a significant enemy force but also created a massive obstacle. The flooded plains would become a muddy, impassable quagmire for weeks, if not months. This would severely hamper any Russian attempts to maneuver forces, resupply their troops on the front line, or launch new offensives from that sector. It effectively creates a natural, temporary defensive barrier, buying valuable time for Ukrainian forces to regroup, fortify their own positions, and plan their next moves. However, an act of this magnitude does not come without controversy. The destruction of a dam, even for clear military objectives, has severe humanitarian and ecological consequences. The flooding would have undoubtedly affected civilian areas downstream, displacing local populations and destroying homes and farmland. The long-term environmental impact on the river ecosystem and surrounding landscape will be significant and long-lasting. This raises complex questions under international law regarding the principle of proportionality. While military necessity can justify attacks on dual-use infrastructure, the expected civilian harm must not be excessive in relation to the concrete and direct military advantage anticipated. Russia will almost certainly use this event as a propaganda tool, painting Ukraine as a reckless state that endangers civilians and the environment. They will try to leverage this internationally to erode support for Ukraine. But for Kyiv, the calculation may have been brutally simple. The survival of the nation outweighs the potential diplomatic fallout. From their perspective, the Russian forces stationed in Belgorod were a direct and existential threat, responsible for daily attacks on Ukrainian cities and civilians. Eliminating a battalion and disrupting a major logistical artery in one fell swoop is a massive military victory. It sends a powerful message to Moscow. No part of your territory being used to wage this war is safe. Ukraine is innovative, determined, and will use every tool at its disposal to win. This psychological impact on Russian troops and commanders cannot be overstated. The constant threat of an unpredictable, devastating attack from an unexpected quarter will sow fear and paranoia, degrading morale and operational effectiveness. Looking at the bigger picture, this event could signal a new phase in the war. As the conflict grinds on, both sides are seeking ways to break the stalemate. We are seeing an increase in long-range strikes, sabotage operations, and attacks on critical infrastructure. This move on the Belgorod Dam is perhaps the most dramatic example of this trend yet. It demonstrates Ukraine's growing confidence in its intelligence and long-range strike capabilities. It also shows a willingness to take calculated risks and escalate in unconventional ways. What happens next? Russia will be forced to respond. We can expect them to divert significant resources to deal with the aftermath of the flood, including search and rescue operations and attempts to repair the dam or mitigate the flooding. They will also likely bolster their air defenses and security around other critical infrastructure sites, spreading their resources even thinner. We might also see retaliatory strikes from Russia, targeting similar infrastructure within Ukraine. The cycle of escalation is a dangerous one, but it seems to be the path this war is on. In conclusion, the reported destruction of the Belgorod Dam is a watershed moment in this conflict, both literally and figuratively. It is a stunning display of military ingenuity and a stark reminder of the brutal realities of modern warfare. While we await official confirmation and more details, the initial reports suggest a tactical masterpiece for Ukraine and a devastating disaster for Russia. It crippled a key logistical hub, eliminated a significant enemy force, and reshaped the physical and psychological landscape of the battlefield. This single event could have far-reaching consequences, influencing the course of the war in the weeks and months to come. It's a bold, high-stakes gamble, and the world is watching to see how it pays off. Thank you for watching. The situation is developing rapidly, and we'll be sure to bring you updates as more information becomes available. If you found this analysis insightful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our future reports. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.